on the road to Morocco. This taxi is tough on the spine.
Beats the bus, huh, Junior?
Beats me.
After our guided tour with Abdel, we headed out for a traditional Moroccan dinner hosted by Ariana at Heria Diari. After a really great meal at Ariana's, we headed back to our Riyadh Darasiya, where we had a couple of bottles of wine, and we were joined by Muad, one of the employees at the Riyadh, and had a great evening with him, talked about religion, cultures, and life in general. It was awesome. Stop it.
Here's how we got mugged slash scammed. We were looking for some museum that we were going to check out that was supposed to be really beautiful, and we got confused, which was the telltale sign that we were tourists and idiots and didn't know what we were doing. The three of us were wandering around, and some kid that was like 12 years old said, what?
He said, "Hey, what are you guys looking for?" And then we said that we were looking for the school, and he said, the school is closed, it's under construction. Have you guys seen this museum across the street? That's where my dad and I work. And
so then he says, "Have you been in that museum? It's really good." And we thought, oh, what a nice guy. He said, yeah, there's this other festival happening. It's just around the corner. Very good for pictures. And he points at my camera and he says, very good for pictures. He says, I'll take you. And then he says, no money. And so he starts to walk us down, and there's another guy at the other end of the road who has a baby in a stroller. Well, we thought it was a baby. Turns out it was probably a 9-year-old kid. Looked like a baby at the time. And he yells to the guy and says, hey, blah, 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 in Arabic, these guys. And then he yells something about United States. And so I thought, that's a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
So we figured that this was a scam, but we figured that the scam was that they were hoping we would give them a little bit of money after they take us to this festival thing. So, and we're thinking, it's a guy, he's got a kid, he's a stroller. All part of the plan,
yeah.
Right?
Right. So then the guy starts to take us down the road, and even though the 12-year-old kid said, it's just around the corner, just to the right, just there.
No money.
No money, of course. Then we start walking and following this guy with the 9-year-old in the stroller.
And he's saying, no money.
Yeah.
Happy day, I take you there.
Yeah.
And then he says something about the tanneries. So now I realize that we're going to the tanneries. which I actually was interested in going to see, and I knew that it smelled like.
We get to the gate of the tannery, and I noticed there are some other
Suckers.
foreigners, I guess. That kind of made us feel a little bit safer, maybe, you know, that like others are doing this too.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we get pulled in, and then we get handed over to another guy. So then we go through the entrance, and we are now handed bunches of mint, each of us.
So we can smell mint instead
the
of
stink.
all the nasty stink of the leather tanneries and the chemicals and the nasty stuff. So that guy takes us around and tells us a history and shows us how the leather's done, which is actually pretty interesting and kind of useful. And then he says, okay, now I take you to a shop if you want to buy some leather. And we're like, oh, okay. So we go there and we give that guy a little bit of money for showing us around. Meanwhile, the guy with the baby has long disappeared, didn't ask for any money, and was gone. So we thought we were in good shape.
Yeah.
So then we went into the leather shop, and everything kind of, the stress level kind of went back down again. And Petra was looking at bags and things, and Carl was trying on shoes. And then we decided that we weren't going to get anything, but we were there for a while. And we stepped out of the leather shop. And when we stepped out of the leather shop, there was Mr. Toddler with the stroller guy. And then I was like, oh crap, because that means that guy has been waiting for us for like, this has been a total of about an hour out of his day. And I'm thinking this guy is hoping to be substantially reimbursed for his time. So then he says, I take you back. And now I'm actually legitimately getting worried, which is different from Petra and Carl, who were worried the entire time, and probably rightly so.
And we were, at this point, I'm pissed, Carl's pissed, he doesn't understand that, what is this guy doing, why is he taking us back, because we kind of roughly knew where we were, because I had Google Maps pulled up all the time, but they kind of took us all around these little street corners to confuse us, I think. So anyway, so
at the last minute, we know where we want to veer off. And so just as we're about to veer off, Petra goes to give him some money, which wasn't much at all because that's all she had left without giving him big bills. And so as she hands it to him, he starts yelling, and out of nowhere there's 4 other guys, and we're in an alleyway where there's nobody else around, and he's like, this is not enough money, you
don't give change,
you don't give change. And that same little 12-year-old kid in the beginning of this story shows up out of nowhere and is telling us we need to give more money. So it was just a giant big scam with a whole bunch of people involved. If you're ever in Morocco, don't follow anybody anywhere.
Just go your way.
Just go your own way. And
Google Maps will take you there.
And they start insinuating for money, and they start kind of pushing and shoving and closing in. And Petra gives what she wants to give them, and then she says, that's enough. And then we quickly got out of there and walked extremely fast out of that alleyway and headed back to our riad.
I was pissed. So
if you're ever in Morocco, I would say it's a great country, it's a really cool place, but you do have to be on your guard because there's a lot of scamming going on, as are a lot of places where there's a big tourism industry.
Yeah.
And back to our regularly scheduled program.
Sang happy birthday to me and brought me a treat and a candle because Carl told him it's my birthday. It's not my birthday.
peace. I hope.